Now I'll go through 7 non-obvious habits that are slowly destroying your legs and potentially even your life. First is living someone else's life, but not your own. A person feels this state where I'm walking right here, right along my lifeline, while nearby somewhere is my road. Bright, beautiful, vibrant. It just takes your breath away. But you have to move along this one and the person has a list of reasons why they must suffer. For what? For whom? Whose attention to attract? And so on. But I'll tell you right now, when a person moves through life not on their own quote-unquote road, they don't see life as a journey, but see it as an incredibly heavy burden. They feel they don't know their path, their purpose, and so on, and then their legs will eventually start to ache. The second reason is living by inertia without any desires. It's when they told me and I'll do it. Someone liked it, the wife, the husband, this direction, where to go on vacation. Or this thing, I'll buy it because she liked it, to make her feel good, to make him feel good, to make them feel good. I'm for everyone, but what about for myself? And when a person lives in a route, they have no desires of their own. It's not just the psyche that suffers, not just the gastrointestinal tract, but first and foremost, the legs suffer. No desires of your own. You fulfill others. It hurts you. It's painful to walk through this life because you subconsciously feel you're living it in vain. The third reason is suppressed anger and resentment. How do they affect the legs? Very simple. The liver is responsible for how a person gets angry and how a person feels resentment. All these emotions are reflected in the liver, in the gallbladder. But if bile flow is disrupted, if the liver suffers, it's directly linked to the legs. Blood circulation is impaired. The legs get cold. It's all because the liver is malfunctioning. It's disrupted. And when a person feels tired, negative thoughts creep in. Toxins inside just start to overflow because the liver can't cope. The person is resentful, the person is angry, it's hard for them, and it's hard for their legs. It's important here to listen to your body and give an impulse to the right feelings and emotions so that resentment and anger don't affect the liver, and the liver and gallbladder, in turn, provide lightness in the legs, warmth and lightness. Remember this. The next reason for leg problems is a feeling of heaviness from all of life. That is, life is pressing down. There's an expression among those people who feel this state. That's it. It's all on the legs, because you have to carry this responsibility. Have you noticed those people, or maybe suddenly you are that person, who when they get sick, they stay on their feet through every illness, they need to more than anyone. Doctors say, please don't try to stay on your feet with this problem or illness. If you push through it, there will be complications. The person says, what? What complications? No, and moves forward. In this way, all of this gets encapsulated in the legs. Have you seen those people who have varicose veins? Yes, some changes occur in the body and the person suffers, but the liver is always involved, the gallbladder too, and the person is angry that life is hard, that they have to carry everything for everyone, all the responsibility. They carry it while also feeling angry and resentful. And they also get a series of problems and diseases with their legs. The next reason why legs suffer is the inability to say no. When a person is in pain, feeling bad or uncomfortable, they carry it all inside. They realize that when asked to do something, they can't do it right now because they had their own task. They can easily give up on their own desires just to do something for someone else. They don't know how to say no. Who else can't say no the way I'm saying it right now? You can't refuse because people will get offended. You can't refuse because what will happen? I'll insult them, hurt them, or lose some relationships. I don't know how to do that. It would be rude, but stepping on my own throat, stepping on my own foot, I can do that easily. That's exactly when leg problems arise, because the person, both emotionally and mentally, steps on their own foot. They don't just step on it. They shoot themselves in the foot when they betray themselves. When they wanted to take their child to daycare, to school, to a graduation, well, okay, a graduation, fine, to some holiday, a Christmas tree event or a school play, and then a loved one calls and says, listen, I have this really important thing. I just can't. I need you to drive me to the other side of town. I have things to do there. Please, help me. A matter of life and death. Turns out, that's what they always say. It's just very important to them. And then the relationship with the child suffers. They're aggressive at home, naturally, but to others, they're incredibly kind. They're so friendly. They'd never do anything harmful, and they never say no to anyone. Everyone says about them, they're such a sweetheart, man. What a person. But inside, every single person at home suffers deeply, and they suffer with their legs because they find it impossible to say no. The next reason why legs suffer is also the deep-seated desire to please everyone. the desire to make someone else's life absolutely wonderful. But at the same time, the person very intensely and zealously, constantly and meticulously compares their own life to others. Remember social media? Who do you compare yourself to on social media? With which person? Like, they've already achieved this and they're only this old, they've reached these results and they're like this. Or, oh, my classmate, I'm sitting here right now and she's already there. All these comparisons stop the movement towards your goals, dreams and tasks. And if they stop you, the stopping of the path is nothing other than the legs. Once my work was connected with nuclear energy. I had a dedicated team working there, and I carefully observed when these men would finally retire, men who were influential bosses and strong leaders. They held truly great positions, and they earned very substantial salaries. They retired, they had ideal pensions by those standards, but for some reason there was the following picture. Apartment, garage, died. Apartment, garage, leg problems, apartment, garage, leg problems, died. And I didn't understand why this happens. Then, when I started looking into this matter, I realized their goal had vanished. They didn't want to retire. But why was that? It was their ultimate life's goal, work, the very activity to which they dedicated, if not their entire life, then certainly most of it. And it happens very easily. When you lose your path, when you lose your way, your goals, tasks, or dreams, leg problems are right there to help you choose your new direction and move along it. It's precisely such people who know the movement, the path, who stop comparing themselves to others and live their bright life. They feel a thrilling sense of excitement and joy from the fact that they are living their vibrant lives, and their legs are healthy and strong. But there is one more reason. Only a small number of people know about it. But there are many people who are trying to find it. Legs suffer when a person very strongly and very zealously carries within them resentment and the heavy weight of all those past years. When they experience negative feelings and emotions and simply cannot let go of them today. It's, there's an expression, when there's a suitcase, it's heavy to carry, but to drop it, well, you just don't want to. But it's heavy to carry because there's no handle. It's the same with emotions. Someone offended this person back then when, say, a girl was getting married. She got offended by her mother-in-law because she said, "Oh, we thought our son would choose someone else, but he chose you." Well, never mind, everything will be fine. But they live on, everything is fine. But the resentment lives through those years of marriage along with you. And then what exactly happens next? Everything eventually settles down in the legs, because like a heavy burden, it prevents you from moving, living your own life, pursuing the various things you'd like to, but you don't allow yourself to do them all, because you will never truly become who you were supposed to be, and you won't meet expectations. And the person cannot let go of these negative feelings, emotions, and they carry this burden within them. It's as if they're dragging behind them the heavy chains that bind them, simply because they constantly see this mother-in-law interact with her and cannot forgive her for that deep-seated resentment that has sat there for such a long time. Your task is to free yourself from these shackles, to give yourself, your legs, the chance to be light and live a bright and beautiful life. To do this, take the lesson, I remind you, on working through psychosomatics. May your legs be light and all the causes that are personally yours be worked through easily and with joy.